know, to the point where you had to try and keep your eyes open to keep performing.
So business was pretty good, I guess.
Business was booming.
And business was booming for the notorious King's Cross Police. Corruption was rife. The local detectives only had to look out of their window from the cop shop here in the heart of the Cross to see it all. Drugs, gambling, brothels. But the boys in blue turned a blind eye as long as they got their piece of the action.
They ruled the Cross.
They ruled the Cross, definitely. They ruled the street girls on the Cross.
But there's a remarkable twist in Kim's tale. In spite of all the corruption and dodgy cops she experienced firsthand, believe it or not, she quit prostitution and joined the police force. And it wouldn't be long before Kim was working undercover as a police whistleblower.
I reported corruption. I did the right thing. I didn't survive, but those who did the wrong thing, a lot of them are still there.
With such a colourful true-life tale to tell, it's not surprising that Kim is now a central character in the television series Underbelly.
Your name, your image, is famous again.
Yep.
Notorious again.
Infamous.
You comfortable with that?
I might be comfortable with it. I don't think the police are, because they felt that their past shouldn't be brought up and thrown in their faces.
You don't mind seeing yourself portrayed on TV?
The public have a right to know that this happened. And I hope they watch closely, because they will see what it was like in New South Wales Police.
And it all happened.
It all happened.
This was the era when King's Cross flourished as a breeding ground of crime, corruption and charismatic identities. In those days, it was men like George Freeman and Lenny McPherson who ruled. And a new arrival was on the scene, John Ibrahim, who went on to become today's King of the Cross.
I mean, you would have seen it all.
Yeah, I saw it all, okay. Yeah, just the fights, the blood. There was always blood spattered everywhere.
It's 15 years since Kim was last in the Cross, and tonight, she's taking us back to where it all began, showing us the real underbelly.
Oh my God!
How you doing?
Oh my God! Can I introduce you or no?
Yeah.
It's a trip down memory lane, and some of the old faces are still around.
I used to work for Roger. Come here. I used to work for
what's this,
Roger
an old friend?
at
Yeah,
Love
very-
Machine.
boss? Yeah.
Roger was my boss at Love Machine.
Even after all this time, the doors to these brothels are still open to Kim, for a guided tour at least.
Hey.
Back to the Love Machine.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
Can I see that room?
Yeah, I want to see my room. Oh, my heart is just out here. Oh, and I'm getting chills.
You're right.
Yeah, I hope so. Headed up into my...
Back in the day, Kim was the star in here.
Oh! Oh, wow.
Room 1 at the Love Machine was hers.
After you finished a job, you'd have to make the bed look as though nobody had been on it. So you would straighten the sheets up.
Bit of housekeeping.
Bit of housekeeping, fluff the pillows. Oh, I still remember how to do the towels. Like this. Together, fan it out, so the bed looks all fresh.
What have we got here?
Okay, this is the Love Machine's bar.
Now, you wouldn't know it, but this was a girl who grew up a self-confessed nerd.
I'd still know how to do it.
The daughter of a country police sergeant. When Kim first came to the Cross, she had dreams of following in her father's footsteps and joining the police force. She was 20, in love, and very naive.
How did life change so radically for you?
The first boyfriend. Yeah, I walked in on him in a motel room in King's Cross, and there were two girls there, a blonde and a brunette, and they were prostitutes, and he paid them to make him happy.
You're already here. Oh my God!
The cheating boyfriend got mad.
Kim, I wouldn't do any of this with the other women if you were such a bloody rude.
Kim got even.
Right, that's it. Come with us.
Alone, broke and desperate, this was Kim's turning point.
I went, in a matter of months, from a virgin to a prostitute. I remember knocking on the first client's door and thinking, if I knock and go into this motel room, I'm going to come out a prostitute.
Nothing much has changed.
No.
Kebabs.
The kebab shop.
Oh, no.
It wasn't long before Kim had a new recruit.
Hey!
Life was so good, Kim's little sister Melissa was also seduced by the game.
Kebab guys still like us. We actually got boob jobs, and then we dumped our boyfriends who were nasty to us. We came to King's Cross and started making some good money.
Not sorry about dumping the boyfriends.
No.
They're long gone.
Not sorry about the boob job.
No!
Not sorry about the dump boyfriends.
No!
They didn't get any benefit.
Where are we here?
This is 169 Victoria Street, King's Cross, which is the Golden Apple.
Take me down, I'll follow you.
Okay.
It was at this famous brothel, the Golden Apple, where Kim and Melissa first came into contact with corrupt police in King's Cross. Local cops unashamedly enjoying all the perks that their job had to offer.
I saw enough that went on here, and yeah, it was just a load of guns on the ground, just carelessly tossed aside because they were busting to get into the spa and relax.
And the police certainly knew how to have a good time. Kim was soon recruited as their #1 crowd pleaser, stripping at more than 30 private police functions that they like to call fundraisers, often in front of 300 officers.
If you don't mind, could I ask some detail? Was it just a strip show?
Oh, no. No, and then, I mean, if it were just a strip show, I don't think they would have hired us, you know. They wanted the goods afterwards. They wanted dessert.
But for all that repulsed her about her clients, ironically, at this time, Kim was desperately trying to get into the police academy.
Why, after everything you'd been through with them, you still wanted to be one of them?
Yeah, I want to be a good one. I mean, I guess I had good role models as a child in that I saw good police, like my father and...
You didn't think they were all bad?
No, I didn't think they were all bad.
Her dream came true in 1995 when she was accepted into the police academy. This is Kim when we first met her on 60 Minutes, proud to wear the blue uniform.
I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. I just went, yes, finally my life is going to be what I planned it to be.
How long did that happiness last?
Short-lived happiness because the students and the senior police instructors there would make indecent approaches towards me to try and keep me in prostitution.
So life in the academy was a bit like life in the brothel.
It was worse.
Kim joined the New South Wales Force at its most tumultuous time in history.
Inquiry of corruption within the police service.
The Wood Royal Commission was blowing police corruption wide open. King's Cross detective Chuck Fowler had just been exposed in a sting by an equally corrupt cop, Trevor Haken. Before long, Kim was also recruited by the Commission to nail a bent detective on the take from brothels. She named 20 cops linked to the sex industry. 2 months later, she was sacked.
I was sacked before the ones I blew the whistle on. I don't think the police wanted to give a prostitute credit for naming corrupt police.
So you went from prostitute to trainee police officer, whistleblower,
Yep.
undercover agent.
Yep.
Then where'd you end up?
Supposedly witness protection, which was a farce. It was a joke.
What did you end up doing?
The Royal Commission officer told me which brothel to go to work in.
And you did?
I had to. I had to. I had no money.
For 10 long years, she was in and out of court, challenging the force to get her job back. It took a huge toll. Kim slid into depression, and her appearances at court became increasingly bizarre, often turning up with her pet rat.
I wasn't happy at all. I was morbid, depressed. crying all the time, nightmares, huge nightmares.
Come on!
That's a voice.
You have,
Belt it out.
you have to make it carry. Come on!
You couldn't get much further from King's Cross, an isolated bush block that's now Kim's backyard.
Come
It's
on!
amazing. It's a stampede.
Stampede! They never hit me though. They know who feeds them.
Today, at 43, Kim lives a quiet rural life.
Have you got a kiss, Pookie? Oh, a better kiss, please.
No partner, no children, but certainly not lonely.
Oh, beautiful.
Life has changed, Kim.
Yeah, hot and sweaty in a different way now.
Only you can say that. But you're right.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Kim's trust and love these days is saved for her animals, and she has no shortage of furry friends.
Not entirely comfortable with
I think
this.
she likes you. Let her go up in there.
No,
On your head?
no, 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 no,
She can make a little nest up there. She'll be really comfy. Just let her sit there and
Kim,
enjoy herself.
get your rat off my head.
Don't worry about it, Michael. She's happy up there. We're going to make her happy.
Few people have seen as much or lived as much as Kim Hollingsworth. She makes no apologies for being a prostitute, never has done. But she does regret not becoming a cop.
What have you learnt?
I have learnt to believe what goes on behind my back, more so than what is said to my face. I have learnt to stand up for myself and to demand a type of respect.
If you had the chance and you could pull on the blue uniform
Yeah.
and serve in the police force, would you?
The reality is that may never occur because I'm up against a huge blue wall. And I've been banging my head against that for years. And you know what? You can crack it, but I don't think we'll ever knock it down.
Coming up.
Just remember, if I get eaten, just keep rolling. The only thing more stupid than being eaten would be to be eaten